Hey, this is my squat routine, heavily inspired by Ido Portal. Go check his stuff out. Put a block or some yoga mats under your heels if you don't have the mobility to do this straight away. So with the knee touches here, we're actually stretching out the big toe and the quadriceps at the same time. So you see I'm using my hands here for balance. Try and pinch my knees in a little bit as I come down and get that stretch through the quads and the toes. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can not use your hands and just try and balance through the movement like I'm doing here. Feels really nice and should help open those up a little bit. Big toe's a big one for people. Now we're going for the internal rotations. I'm trying to get my knee all the way to the ground while keeping my foot flat on the floor. So you see I'm not turning up onto the toe as I do these. So I'm keeping that blade of the foot flat, which guarantees internal rotation. If you can't come all the way down, that's absolutely fine. Just do what you can. Next up, I've got the twist and rotate. So I'm going to hold on to my foot and reach up. Now, if you've got that few yoga mats folded up or a yoga block for your heels, this would be really, really useful if you don't have the mobility. I'm trying to get a stretch through my thoracic spine and my lumbar spine, a little bit of external rotation in the hip as I do this. Using that hand, holding my other foot to kind of anchor me and help me get a better stretch. So trying to look absolutely vertical so I get that 9-degree twist in my thoracic spine while trying to actually stay quite upright. Now I'm going to push my knees out into abduction, so I'm using the corner of my elbows against the inside of my knees there to kind of drive those out. Drive my chest up as I do these. Next, we're going to stretch off your hamstrings a little bit, so grab onto your big toes, and as you come out of the squat, keep the head down and lock the quads out. So you're going to feel that quad on the inside of your leg, your VMO, contract, and that's going to turn your knees slightly in and really get the most out of this stretch. Notice how I'm keeping my head down because I'm stretching that whole posterior chain, not just the hamstrings. With these, if you can't grab hold of your toes, then your shins or your knees are fine too. Now from here, I'm going to do a few touches on each level. So I've got 2 shakas, thumb and finger out, and then I go down to a shaka and a spud, and then 2 spuds, and then just kind of work my way down there. Again, it might just be that you're on the highest level, or it might be that you can't even touch the 2 fingers, and that's absolutely fine. It's just something to work on, and it's a really good gauge of how well the mobility is progressing. So now I'm going to come up and try and extend my thoracic because there's just gone quite a lot of flexion. So I'm pulling my belly in, pulling my chest up, and then trying to sit down into that. And that's it. That's the whole routine.